If you have ever photographed a large family or a large group of employees at a company or any just large group in general, then you have been faced with the problem of how to ensure that everybody in that photo is in focus, or as close to being in focus as possible. Hey, this is Scott Weidenkifowitz, a storyteller with a camera talking about all the things photographers like you and I are thinking about. And in this video, we're going to ensure how to get tack sharp focus, or try your hardest to get tack sharp focus across an entire photograph of people, a group photo. This is a dilemma that people face, photographers face on a daily basis. Any photographer who photographs large groups will face this issue. And large groups might be 5 people. It all depends on the people, their sizes, the scene that you're in, if you're in a small space or large space, how you have to position those people. First thing first is to ensure that you have somebody in the middle of the planes. Let's say you have multiple rows of people. You want to make sure you have a middle row of people. You could have people up front, people in the back. You want to make sure there's somebody in the middle because step 2 is actually to adjust your aperture to be somewhere around f8, f11, maybe even smaller. And by smaller, I mean a larger number. Click here to watch a video on aperture. By closing up your aperture to a smaller aperture, that means that you will have better focus across multiple planes. The depth of field will actually be quite deep. You will see less blur in front and in back of the point of focus. Of course, this also means that your lens may not be as sharp as it might be at its sweet spot, but that's okay. You need for as many people to be in focus as possible. Okay, so now you have your lens at about f8, f11, maybe f16, whatever it is at, and your shutter speed is locked in, your ISO is locked in, your white balance is locked in, everything is ready to go. Go back to step 1, and now you're gonna make sure that you are focusing on somebody in the middle plane. If you only have 2 planes, you might want to focus on the person in front, maybe a child, because in a family situation, they're going to want to make sure that their kids are more in focus than themselves. The parents, that is, would want to make sure their kids are more in focus than themselves. If you're in a situation where it's maybe 5 adults, then you might want to position them still with multiple planes, even if it's 2, 2, and then 1, you want to make sure that you've got multiple planes. You can focus on the people in the middle to ensure that the majority of people are actually in focus, in front of and behind of the focus point. You will never have every single person in focus. It is absolutely impossible to do so unless you do a bunch of layering and masking, but then you have to make sure everybody stays perfectly still for a bunch of frames, and it's not going to be so easy. So by taking the aperture effect and the focus point effect, putting those together, you're going to make sure that you've got the best possible focus for a group of people. If you like this video, click that subscribe button below right now. I publish new videos every Monday and Thursday whenever possible. You don't want to miss it.